Welcome, brave viewers, to the Spooky Channel, your gateway to the eerie and enigmatic realms that exist beyond the mundane world. Join us as we delve into the most mysterious and ominous corners of our planet, unearthing secrets and uncovering chilling stories that will send shivers down your spine. Some stories are just too strange that even when seen, it is just hard to believe. Here are 4 paranormal encounters that will send shivers down your body. The weather is scary. In Fargo, North Dakota, on a frosty January 17, 2020, Nicole Hefner, an accountant and mother of 6, braves the biting cold and treacherous ice to inspect an office space for rent. Returning to her car, Nicole records an eerie event. The wind was so fierce that she could barely keep her balance, and a nearby light pole was wobbling and rattling violently. Nicole's companions found this spectacle fascinating, and it led them to ponder how the cold affects not only living things, but also non-living objects like buildings and cars. However, what makes this occurrence mysterious is that in the background, an identical pole remains completely motionless. As we ponder the possibility of animism, let's call upon our scientific experts for their insights. Dr. Diana Hens, an atmospheric scientist, reviews the weather data from that day and shares that light poles are designed to endure extreme weather conditions, so the cold alone may not be the reason for the pole's movement. The wind could be the culprit for the shaking light post, but it's not just about the speed. Atmospheric scientist Dr. Diana Hens notes that a blizzard was raging through the area, causing whiteout conditions. However, physicist Dr. Hakeem Oluseyi explains that it's the direction and frequency of the wind that matter. Wind can cause vibrations in objects with a natural frequency of vibration, and the wind gusts can magnify these vibrations if they resonate with the length of the object. Our verdict? The violent vibrations in the light post are due to the resonance caused by the wind gusts hitting it at its natural frequency. The adjacent light post remains steady because the wind is hitting it at a different frequency, possibly because the vibrating post is in a tight wind tunnel. Although it was undoubtedly freezing in North Dakota, it was the resonance effect that caused the shaking. Psychic pets. Unaware of what they were about to witness, Meg Oxtoby and Jeff Parlin, along with their trio of Hungarian Vizslas, were on a hike on a sweltering July day in 2020. As they walked along chatting like they normally do, they noticed something strange. The dogs had all stopped moving, frozen in their tracks, while the camera continued to capture the scene in motion. The leaves rustled and the bushes swayed, but the dogs remained completely still for a staggering 4 minutes. After the dogs resumed their normal activities, Meg and Jeff were left completely gobsmacked, wondering if there were supernatural forces at work. Ancient cultures from the Greeks to the Koreans have myths about dogs possessing supernatural abilities. Some believe that dogs have a spiritual side that can sense things like earthquakes, illness, and even death. Recent studies have even explored the possibility of dogs communicating telepathically, suggesting that there may be more to canine cognition than we realize. Biology professor Floyd Hayes believes that this is just a product of centuries of breeding, as this is a behavior selectively bred in several breeds of dogs and can be reinforced by training. Dogs can even be trained to lift their paw above the ground when they're pointing. At the end of the video, the dogs unfreeze as soon as a bird flies away, reinforcing Hayes' theory. However, Meg and Jeff say they've never trained their dogs to behave like this, leaving the mystery unsolved. Our verdict is that this is still an animal anomaly, and these 3 Vizslas genuinely froze in place for 4 minutes. If Meg and Jeff truly didn't train them to do this, how they stopped time is still a doggone mystery. Although some apps can deceive viewers by animating specific areas of a picture while keeping the rest frozen, we found no evidence that the video was manipulated in any way. An app to make thoughts come true. In May 2020, Alexa Wolkowitz and her friend Anna used the Rondonautica app to search for her mother's lost dog, Layla. Rather than simply relying on the app's random GPS coordinates, the two girls set an intention and focused their minds on finding the lost dog. As they walked through the desert, they visualized themselves discovering Layla, and suddenly they spotted a little animal in the distance. As they approached, they realized it was a dog, but sadly, it wasn't Layla. Despite this disappointment, Alexa felt that the experience was healing, and she believes that the app has the power to tap into the mind's ability to manifest our intentions. The popularity of Randonautica exploded in 2020 with over 15 million downloads and thousands of social media posts from people who had used the app to fulfill their wishes. Users would set an intention and the app would guide them to a random location where they could find something related to their intention. Some people even reported finding things that were beyond coincidence, leading them to believe that the app had some sort of supernatural power. To test whether Randonautica could truly manifest our intentions, a team of physicists led by Dr. Hakeem Olusei and Dr. Michio Kaku designed an experiment. The guidelines were simple: set an intention and see if the app could lead them to a location that was somehow related to that intention. The results of the experiment were fascinating, and they shed new light on the connection between the mind and the physical world. While the synchronicity effect may explain some of the experiences, most of the time people don't receive what they intended. Thus, it's most likely a coincidence resulting from vague goals, such as something that will make me happy. Nonetheless, there's still much to learn about this universe, therefore our verdict is that it's most likely a coincidence. What do you think? Dead Man's Poem. During a tour along the shores of Lake Superior in October 2018, Jason Esselin and his friends spotted something strange in the water that made them gasp. Upon closer inspection, it appeared to be a tall and large object that was gray in color but had a blurry shape. Jason and his friends initially thought it was a ship, but the object seemed to be hundreds of feet in the air. It wasn't until Jason reviewed the footage at home that he began to consider the possibility that they had witnessed a ghost ship. Lake Superior had a history of shipwrecks, with hundreds of vessels going down in the treacherous waters since the late 1800s. Some locals believe that some of these sunken ships still sail the waters, including the SS Bannockburn, also known as the Flying Dutchman of Lake Superior. The legend of the Flying Dutchman has persisted for centuries, and Jason can't help but wonder if the mysterious object he captured on camera was this legendary phenomenon. In his own words, they had just witnessed something out of this world. They who see the Flying Dutchman never reached the shore, but as it turns out, answers can still be found. Science writer and forensic video analyst Vic West analyzes the object in Jason's video and notes that it looks like a sail ship, which is unexpected for Lake Superior, where most shipwrecks are freighters with steam engines. This leads him to suspect that it's not actually a ship. Despite the poem's ominous line, the team was able to solve the mystery and reach a verdict of a mirage. Thank you for joining us here on this journey through the macabre and terrifying world of horror and mystery. Keep in touch with us here on the Spooky Channel by liking and subscribing. Also hit that notification bell, and we hope that our videos have kept you on the edge of your seat and made your heart race with fear.